give you everything I am. You give it back to me and more. We're gonna make our dreams come true and live a good life, good life, good life.
Today on Tamron Hall, we've got one big tip. Listen up. Some of the biggest names in the podcast world take over our stage. Lauren LaRosa is here. Her coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs trial made big headlines and went viral. It also launched her hit podcast.
Even if you weren't up to date with what was happening with the case, you could follow along with what my reporting was.
Plus, how Lauren used her podcast to share an empowering message and moment with Breakfast Club co-star Jess Hilarious. And while actress Charisma Carpenter starred in both Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, she admits she never watched an episode. Now that surprising revelation has inspired her brand new podcast.
I love that you never watched episodes of your own show.
I was busy.
Plus, you know him from Blue's Clues. Steve Burns is now taking over the podcast world, reconnecting his fans who grew up watching him and tackling real-life topics like money, relationships, life, and loss.
It's still about you.
Tamron Hall starts now.
This show, because this is another edition of what we call Listen Up, where we dig into the breakout podcast, pulling in millions of listeners and really flipping the script on how we connect, how we talk, how we argue. Y'all got me out of breath. Thank goodness, listen, thank goodness this hour we have some good talkers so I can catch my air. Podcasts are not just background chatter. They've become the stage where stories are broken, dramas unfold, and even new voices really are rewriting the rules. I was recently a guest on my friend, actress, and comedian Nwodim's award-winning podcast. It's called Thanks, Dad. In fact, she won the Best Interview Award earlier this year, which is it's called the Ambies. It's for excellence in audio. I took Moses with me. He was backstage. We were hanging out with Ego. Let's take a look at what she talked about.
Now, you said you wanted Moses to have a sense of identity and autonomy, and you want him to have a sense of identity and autonomy. Do you feel like you had that as a kid?
Oh, absolutely. So even though my mom was definitely what they call the F around and find out kind of parent. She was not a gentle parent. I was allowed to have a huge imagination. I think that's helped me obviously later creatively. I got in a lot of trouble in school.
Ooh, okay.
A lot of trouble. I went to a Catholic school. I was suspended. Gosh, I was probably suspended maybe 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times. What's the worst thing you did to get suspended? Honestly.
Listen, Ego won the award for Best Interviewer for a reason. She got me to tell a story I have never told in public, so you'll have to listen to Ego's podcast to see. But for the children who are watching right now at home with your parents or your loved one, I am not telling you I got suspended because it is a good thing. I am telling you, like all the greats in the Bible, you can redeem yourself. So this is not a do as I did. This is do as I say, which is pay attention in school. All right, here we go. So today's show, our first guest knows what it means to make noise. Loren LoRosa. She got her big break at TMZ, one of the biggest entertainment newsrooms in the business. And then she walked away from TMZ betting on herself, and now she's holding her own on The Breakfast Club, a show called the most dangerous morning show in the world because they take no prisoners with their interviews. And now Lauren's out with her own daily podcast. It's called The Latest with Loren LaRosa, where she reports on all things pop culture. And honestly, they say timing is everything. Lauren's timing is unmatched. She launched that podcast just weeks before the Sean Combs trial, streaming live from right in front of the courthouse steps. Her coverage went viral as she helped viewers make sense of all that was coming in during that trial. Take a look.
Biggest thing, Cassie took the stand. This is the first time that Diddy and Cassie, that I'm told, have been in the same room in the last 6.5 years. I was actually pretty surprised at how strong she was with all the circumstances, right? Because you got to think about it. She's sitting not only in front of Puff, who's looking straight at her the whole time, directly straight at her the whole time, but she's sitting in front of his family, his mother, his children. The minute I walked out of court, people were asking me, what's the feeling in there? What's the temperament in the court? It was so clear, in my opinion, that the judge, he doesn't believe that Diddy is as remorseful as he should be.
It was interesting how her podcast really broke out from a lot of others who were in front of the court steps, and that's because of her many years in the entertainment space, and she's using that as a weapon, and now I'm telling you, this podcast is on fire. Please welcome Lauren LaRosa! Congratulations. So happy for you. So well deserved.
Thank you. They're gonna make me cry when you got started yet.
I love it.
Thank you. Oh my God.
You know what? I know that has to feel so good because
I just got my makeup done.
oh, I love that you got tears because you know what? A lot of this happened because you bet on yourself.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're crying. You're gonna make me cry.
I'm always crying, y'all. I feel like this last year I've been crying, but it's like tears of joy more than anything because yes, when you take a chance, you just don't know.
You don't know how it's going to turn out.
No.
Because you were at TMZ.
Yes.
You were covering all things pop culture.
Yes.
And you started to think about how do I own my own identity? And then two very important people in your life, your mother and your grandmom, had health scares.
Yes.
And that changed your perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah. Yes, I think I didn't really have a choice. I had to get back closer to home. They're in Delaware, so being on the East Coast, and New York was just the place that I could come to where I'm like, okay, I could still work, but I could be close. But for a time, I couldn't even work because my mom was back and forth to the hospital. So I was like, I don't know what's about to happen, but if I get another shot at career, I'm going in 300%. So. Yeah. I came and, I just did it. And I also think, too, it made me really, value the ability and the opportunity to do things. I think when you become, you get up and you do this amazing show every day, and I know you're grateful for it, but when you almost get, everything you've worked for kind of, not taken away from you.
Well, Lauren, I got fired, so I understand. And it turned into me hiring myself.
I wasn't trying to be in your business today. I was,
Listen, it's out in the streets. They know.
Well, since you brought it up, you know what I mean, though. It's you work for something, and in our business, out of sight is out of mind, especially as a Black woman doing this, right? Yeah. So for me, when I had to make the decision of okay, I need to tell my job I can't work anymore. I'm doing Zooms by the hospital bed. It's just not working. I was like, dang, I never thought it was going to be over, but I was like, what is it going to be? Where else do I go at this point?
And that pulls at your strings because, oftentimes, you can't control emergencies in life, right? So whether it's your child, your parent, your grandparent, your loved one, you are in two places. You're at your mother's bedside, wanting her to get better, and you're worried about, okay, I got to get this career going.
Yeah.
And you're being pulled in two directions. But your priority is your mom, but you also want to work.
But that was the first time in my life too where eventually I stopped even thinking about career. And I'm always thinking about career, but I just stopped thinking about it because what was happening in real life was so overwhelming. And even that, like knowing what it felt like to completely be shut down, like dark, like I literally couldn't think from Monday to Friday because of what was happening. So to experience that, it like now when there's a lot going on, or like I'm just like, it's fine, we'll figure it out. Because I've been through the worst of the worst. So there's nothing at this point that I can't figure out.
I think it's so powerful where you talked about in that moment of crisis, not even caring or worrying about work. This was, I'm there for my family. And then in the midst of that, the doors open for you to go right on in. And I'm talking about impeccable timing. You're launching this podcast, and then the biggest trial in pop culture history.
Yes.
One of the most important figures in music for the past 30 years is in court for unimaginable charges.
Right down the street from the studio.
Right down, so you could run from the Breakfast Club to the trial.
No, that's what I was doing.
I know, and it caught my eye because I said, I remember, of course I saw when you joined the Breakfast Club, then I started watching those podcasts and your hits on the trial, and I was like, she's got it. This is it. This is the opening to get the attention.
I appreciate it.
This is the opening. So there you were when Sean Combs was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months.
Yes.
You walk out of that courtroom. I mean, how was that to process? Because again, you've been in entertainment for many, you're not an overnight success here.
Right.
You've been in it. How did you process what was happening?
I kept saying, I can't believe that this is happening. And not because I didn't think that, you do a crime, there is going to be time, and people can argue about what the time should have been or should not have been, right? But just because seeing, like, this is Sean Diddy Combs, right? Seeing him stand up, speak to the judge, beg and plead, and seeing his children, like, break down crying, begging and pleading for him to be able to come home, at that point, I'm remembering all the other times that I've seen him, like the award shows and the Grammy speeches. And I'm like, this is insane. I can't believe that, like, this is happening. And then also being there in real time, you're just like, I'm here and I'm seeing this.
Right.
Like,
well, and how were you turning the podcast over? Because I tell people, podcasts are the new talk show.
Yes.
It is. It just is. So you would go into court, you'd run out, and is that where you would record live? How was that going out?
So, I basically wasn't sleeping for the first half of trial. So, so we would come out of court, we would do as much as we can outside of the courtroom. And then that audio, we would take it. I might, go home and record, because I have a setup at home, go home and record intros and kind of like in between segments, so that even if you weren't up to date with what was happening with the case, you could follow along with what my reporting was. But we were literally taking things directly from the court. And if I did multiple videos, one day we would do an actual episode, then there would be a bonus episode, you might get a weekend episode. Like, I was doing so much content around the trial just because naturally there was always something happening in court. And people just started watching it. Like, the first video I posted coming out of court, I didn't think that many people would watch it. I just was like, okay, I'm just going to tell you what's happening. Like, I didn't even have
because you don't have a script or anything. You're walking out of the courtroom and you're just kind of ad-libbing everything that was going on there.
No script, no strategy. Literally, I remember talking to Charlamagne, and I was like, I was trying to come up with a strategy. Like, what's my angle every day when I come out of court? And he was like, just tell the people what you saw.
Right.
So I came out of court, I just told the people what I saw, what I heard, and I wanted you to feel like as much in it, like not too much edits.
Well, see, and that's what I liked about your podcast. It doesn't feel over edited.
Yes.
I feel like you're kind of saying, if I say it this way, I'm going to keep it this way. And that's the authenticity of live reporting.
Yeah.
That's why I always liked live TV, because I used to tell people, once it's out, it's out. I can't get it back.
Yes, and it worked for me too, because people also didn't like it. So now they're in the comments.
Oh, now we're getting to the juicy part. Coming up, what could they not have liked? Because I love it. Loren LaRosa, after the break on her huge podcast, right after this.